Hey y'all, come see some of the magic Fantasyland has to offer. We will talk about 7 out of the 14 rides this land has. Starting with Pinocchio's Daring Journey, which is a dark ride, which most of the rides are here in Fantasyland, as well as finding some of the most classic tales in the Disney Vault. At number 25, we arrive at Snow White's Enchanted Wish, also a dark ride and one of my favorites in this land. This ride has changed about 3 times since it opened and has several Easter eggs and history. If y'all wish to know more, go check out some of my earlier Disney videos to learn some of the best Easter eggs here in Disneyland. From here, we move to Sleeping Beauty's castle walkthrough. And this castle, I know a lot of people, especially Disney World people, hate on this castle because of its size. And I get it, it's not the biggest one. But this castle, in one way or another, saved Disney movies as well as theme parks. With the release of Sleeping Beauty back in the day, Mr. Walt Disney put up his house and other assets betting on the movie Sleeping Beauty to make it, since back in the day Disney wasn't as big as it is now. And history tells us that without this castle, Disney theme parks and movies would not be the same. So next time y'all want to skip this walkthrough, remember, this is one of the main reasons Disney is this big. Your wishes will help children. Here we have King Arthur's Carousel and the sword in the stone since it's in front of it, and I would highly suggest to come try to take the sword from this stone. You'll never know if you will be strong enough to get it out. Well, in reality, there is a trick to this. Now, if y'all don't want to know how this works and keep the magic, turn the sound down for a couple of seconds. So, if y'all are still interested, the only way to get the sword out of it is if a cast member presses a button. Otherwise, it's not coming out. Okay, now onto the carousel. The only Easter eggs I will give you is Mary Poppins. Well, more specifically, Judy Garland, the actress that played Mary Poppins, has a horse dedicated specifically for her, and it's called Jingles, and it is painted in the drawings and colors to honor her. We move around on a bit here to number 30, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And this ride is a bit controversial here with certain people, since the story of this ride, based on the adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad crashes his car and is sentenced to hell. That's right, and that's why this ride is a bit controversial. Me personally, I love the attention to detail they put into this ride, with the use of light and lack of use of light and the wind. It really makes you feel like you are in the story, especially almost running into the train. For some reason, I always duck, even though I know it's not gonna hit me, but I always duck. We are finally at the Matterhorn bobsled, one of my all-time favorites, and I would say this is the most thrilling ride here in Disneyland. If you can ride this, the rest of the rides are gonna be a piece of cake. Now, some quick background on me. I hate thrilling rides only because I have a huge phobia of heights, so it gets me really dizzy. It makes me feel pretty bad, so I try to stay away from that. And the reason I mention this is because I know there's someone out there that just might be like this. Not too much about roller coasters, but this one is not that bad. I promise you will not die and you will enjoy it a lot. Lastly, I highly suggest to do this ride at night, but no worries, once we do rope drop videos, I'll make sure to put all this helpful info in there, so make sure to subscribe to keep up with all these helpful tips to make your next Disney trip well worth it.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this? It was unbelievably.
Last ride on this video here in Fantasyland is another somewhat controversial one, but this time it's because of the music. Now, not like the music says anything bad at all, nothing like that. It's actually a classic one here, but the problem people have with it is this ride is 15 minutes long, and the whole time the 2-3 verses this song has is on repeat. Now, to be fair, as you go through the world, the languages change. Now, this ride is also very historical, which I have talked about in other videos, so make sure to go check those out. But the thing I will tell you is, if you have a chance to go during Christmas season, take it. It is such a magical place, and I'll give you an extra Easter egg to end this video. Make sure to be on the lookout for the only Charlie Brown in the whole park. With that, I shall bid y'all adieu, and make sure to subscribe to catch Mickey's Toontown, and in my opinion, the best queue line in the park.